Hey guys, Mars is going into Aries where he will be from the 24th of May until July 5th, and he's booming into Jupiter, which expands everything. And this is fire, action, opportunity, growth, expansion coming to you in some area of your sky, depending on your rising sign. Are you curious? Are you excited? I am, because Mars here is dynamic and Jupiter here is powerful. Jupiter has not been in this part of the sky for 12 years. This is decidedly juicy and rare. 2010, 11, the last time this kind of sky action happened for you in your chart. So I'm going to go ahead and do the all signs. This is really not about the collective. This is just for your all signs purview. We're going to talk a lot about what it means in your chart, but also don't forget I'm using whole sign houses, and I am your astrologer, Lori Lothian of Lunatic Astrology. So when you cast your chart in whole sign houses, please take a look at the description box to how to do that in your own sky. Free tutorial. You can just go watch it and do it yourself on free online software. You have one sign, one house. Okay, so you can't tell me, oh no, Aries is my 10th and 11th house. No, Aries will be 12 house pie slice in your circular natal chart, tropical Western astrology. All right. So with a whole sign house focus. So well, I may start with one brief note about Mars meeting up with Jupiter and just Mars and Aries in general. I mean, Mars in Aries is very feisty, fiery, peppery, and hot. He's a warrior. He wants to fight. He wants to go to battle. He wants to be winning and playing to win. We can find that themes in the world to do with feisty battles and wars can pick up. But Jupiter is also in the house of Aries right now. And even though he's working for Mars, because Mars is the ruler of Aries in dignity, he still is a benefic. He kind of bonifies Mars. He kind of is trying to bring some softening, some justice, some fairness, some wisdom, some truth warrior, okay, energy to the story of this transit, especially around the time of the 29th of May. So let's go 28th to 30th, when there is a conjunction between Mars and Jupiter. Get ready for some big truth warrior energy in the collective sphere, whatever truth warrior means to you. Or battles for justice as well, protests for justice maybe as well. Jupiter will only make it to the 8th degree of Aries before he backtracks around the 21st of July. So this is Jupiter's testing the waters of Aries. He'll be back full time commanding the show in Aries between December 20th and May of next year. So keep that in mind as well. Jupiter's only got a half-assed investment right now in the Aries zone, but he is there. He is there until October 28th. All right. But moving very slowly in those first 8 degrees of the sign of Aries. So let's start off then with the all signs quickie. This is a quickie video, but please like and subscribe. It helps my channel grow. Check my offers below. Sky Reader course starts on the 29th of May, and you may still get in if there's any spots left by the time you're listening to this video. Check out all the discount codes for that course as well. All right, so let's get going. It's a 6-week live course with me learning basics of astrology and how to time your best life. All right, Aries, sun, moon, and rising sign. Well, Aries, of course, this is exciting because it's all about you, and you love when it's all about you because you're Aries and I'm an Aries sun and moon, so I get it. We're very about us, independent and very self-focused sometimes. With Jupiter here, you are feeling expansive, especially for the Aries rising, especially for Aries rising with a rising sign in the first 10 degrees of the sign of Aries. We're or your sun or your moon, we're feeling it strongly. I'm going to just open my window. I'll be right back. It's frigging hot in here. I have my Aries moon at 8 degrees, and that's going to really expand my moon energy this year. So I want you to think about how you're feeling anyway, Aries folk, really expansive. Go check my Jupiter and all signs video out. It's on my channel. And maybe I'll put that in the playlist description or in the description box and highlight it for you. But also now Mars comes into the fray. First of all, athleticism and action and movement of your body. A lot of Aries are suddenly going to get on an exercise plan. Guess what? Today I went to the swimming pool, got the rates, going to sign up for a summer pass for 3 months, and I'm going to do lap swimming every freaking day I can, unless there's a hailstorm. Guess what? Mars in my chart, by the way, is swimming in Pisces. So of course I do lap swimming. So, but as an Aries sun, I'm I am down for exercise. So you'll find that your desire to be physically active is increasing as this transit is ongoing, and you may be more competitive, more feisty, more wanting to win, more competitive for sure during this time frame. You're sparked by the spirit of competition. You can also be very directive and decisive in making decisions. Mars makes you that way when he's in your sign, especially you Aries folk anyway, because you're fire and it's all like really fiery choices and decisions. And lastly, around the 29th, when Jupiter and Mars co-join in the sky, boom, this is a big energy for you. What could you experience? A dramatic expansion of some decision, a new direction that is going to wake up some kind of power in your life to make you feel like the king of Mount Olympus, a sense of destiny unfolding with the actions that follow it. You may have a clash with a spiritual teacher, guide, or guru, Jupiter, but hey, Mars is your guide. You will win. And it's a combination of luck and opportunity meets action and direction. So pay attention to around the 29th, a day or two on either side, what is growing and expanding and moving forward for you in your identity and your choices at that time. I'm going to stand up, I think. Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign. My head still in the picture because I need to stretch. Taurus, sun, moon, and rising sign people. You do have the energy of this Jupiter-Mars conjunction. First of all, Mars, May 24th to all the way down the pipeline, July 5th in your 12th house. It's a great transit for getting rid of self and doing self-sabotage, strategies of it, of doing yourself no favors, addictions, stuff like that, where you are your worst enemy. Mars is going to help you clear that out, and you will clear out your own hidden enemies. If there are people who are not so hidden anymore, who don't do you a service, who don't have your back, you get rid of them at this juncture. You really will. And it'll be no loss to you. Now, if you have anybody in your life who is living in a foreign land, or you have connections to foreign lands, that's better. You might indeed travel to a foreign land, or they may travel to you, because one of the foreign lands houses is a 12th house. And so don't be surprised if foreigners are showing up on your doorstep to visit, or vice versa, traveling either which way. Next of all, you could say that when Jupiter and Mars combine forces, which they will do on around the 29th of June, give or take, 20th of May, give or take a few days, something big is blowing up in your inner life. This could be definitely a dream at night. It could be internal recognitions through meditations or insights or downloads and stuff like that. Or you may meet a dynamic, exciting, passionate new spirit guide or teacher, and you may also step into a new direction of learning, something you wish to learn that's going to be very good for you, like a dharmic learning, something that puts you on your path. So pay attention for learning opportunities if you are a Taurus around the end of this month. All righty. If you are a Gemini, sun, moon, or rising sign, the general vibe here is that you're expanding your social groups and circles. There's no way you cannot do that because Mars is in there. Now, he will eliminate the deadwood too, so that anybody you don't need, like those groups of belonging don't fit you, you will cut them out. However, because of this expansion and Jupiter, new and benevolent and lucky communities could be forming as well. Pay attention to the 29th, 30th. For opportunities to go in directions with new people, new groups of belonging, new allies and friends as benefactors. Now, you could get great gains from your career here financially. So what kinds of new directions will Mars take you in, where you can be competitive, feisty, and spirited in order to generate new financial gain from your zone of your 10th house of career. Finally, if you want to learn something or study something, and Mars will give you the direction, action, and focus and ambition to do that. But this would be learning in a group or with a group, okay? Or teaching a group, if that's something as a Gemini that you do. Cancer, sun, moon, and rising sign. You have the sky action of Mars between the 24th of May and July 5th in your 10th house of career. This is definitely all about your life's purpose, career, your reputation in the world. You can definitely find that you're changing your career direction, changing your job even with Mars up there. Now, don't be alarmed, because Mars can lead to things like being fired when he's in his fiery space and he's at the top of the sky, but Jupiter's here to bonify it. So if you change jobs, lose your job, or move in a new career direction, Jupiter's saying it's all good. I've got your back. Something's going to work out. The universe is a friendly place. Somebody in power, Jupiter and Aries, could also leave the job, especially around the 29th, 30th, or the 1st of June, and quit or retire. And that leaves you an opening to move up in that space. So that's exciting as well. And lastly, you may also, if you're in charge of something, quit somebody, fire them, get rid of them in the workspace, in the career space, because your wisdom, Jupiter says, they are not working for you, for the company, or for the group at all. And it's time for them to go. By the time this transit ends on July 5th, you had some major and significant changes in your career, your job, and your workspace stuff. Leo, sun, moon, and rising sign. The sky action is happening with Mars between the 24th of May and July the 5th in your 9th house of God, foreign lands and travel, court cases, etc. If you have a court battle going on, Mars is your fighting lawyer. Jupiter is justice will prevail. Things will work out in these weeks ahead. If it's about foreign lands and travel, what a time for great adventure with luck and opportunity coming out of that. Safety and protection from Jupiter. Go explore foreign lands. If you are a Leo rising, especially, it will be fantastic. Go look to the end of the month around the 29th, 30th for that Jupiter conjunct Mars moment. And that intensity can really look like an opportunity to go on a trip, an opportunity to win in court, an opportunity within your spiritual community, or it can mean a dramatic change of direction regarding your beliefs and faith and what you think is true about how reality works. Every now and then we have to clean up and pare away our belief structures. And Mars is the gardener up there, and he may be saying, let's let go of this belief. It no longer serves you. God doesn't like me because, or whatever you have going on up there. And Jupiter will help bonify that and say, thank God you let go of that belief. Cut, snip, goodbye. A belief that does not serve. If you're into book publishing, this is a great transit for going in a new direction with a creative work, or finding a new publisher, or finding a new agent. Things like that can really percolate out of this transit for you. I am going fast. This is just a quickie. Virgo, sun, moon, and rising sign. You're having Mars moving through your 8th house of other people's money, spousal support, bank loans, investments in the stock market, and inheritances. And for some of you, this Virgo, this will definitely look like a bequeathment, because this is a bequeathment transit with Jupiter moving through that part of your sky till October 28th. And again, in the first 5 months of 23. However, it can also be the really lucky breaks. Like you get the bank loan of a century, you get a business loan, your taxes, you pay too much and you get more money back than you thought. All of those good things can happen during this time. Mars is definitely, though, the god of endings and cuttings and severings and completions, which makes me a little concerned, of course, that there could be an acute moment here at the end of May into the early June of the loss of somebody that and the fallout would be some money from that person's passing. Don't worry about it unnecessarily. I'm just letting you know that sky can do that for you. With Mars here, you may take new directions in how you handle your investments. You may cut away and clean up your portfolio of investments. You may pare away stuff that doesn't work for you in how you share money with your spouse, separating it out. You see, spousal support, alimony, palimony, shared resources, dividing assets, and separations is very common when Mars moves through the 8th house. He's here for 6 weeks, remember, till July 5th. Let's see what happens. This is a common way this occurs. Libra, sun, moon, and rising sign. You have this energy of Mars through your marriage house and your business partnership house and your marketplace for your career path. So one thing is you could change direction in how you market and sell things to your audience, clients, others in your career path. But you could also find that there is some combative, conflictual energy from a business partner or a marriage/significant other partner, because they've got Mars in the house of them. That's not about you. They may be very, very peppery until between May 24th and July 5th. So watch for them to be a little bit more aggressive or angry or focused in verbal combat or something like that with you than normal. But Jupiter is trying to smooth it out, calm it down, make everybody happy, make it a good story. So it could be that everything has a silver lining. Now you could change directions by cutting out a teacher, guide, or mentor in your life. That's very common. Mars is snipping and cutting, and Jupiter's teacher, guide, and mentor. And you may just have had enough, and it's time to end that relationship or end that client relationship as well. Pay attention to the 29th and 30th when there's a big booming energy here of opportunity, new directions with client, audience, other, marriage, or business partnership. Opportunity, Jupiter, Mars, new directions. Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising sign. I can do this quickly, guys. I know I can. You have the energy of this intense Mars transit for 6 weeks on the 24th of May to June the 5th in your 6th house of your work habits and routines and your health habits and routines. And it's called the house of sickness, but it's also where we can also prevent sickness. So here we have in your, you're prone as a Scorpio rising to issues with your Aries, your head, right? So watch your head injuries or things going on with your head, headaches, whatever, inflammation in the head. Now, here we have this story that goes on to talk about, and you can't make this stuff up because I do know a Scorpio who is prone to bumping his head. You do have this energy of Jupiter and Mars together on the 29th, 30th or so. And this is going to be an opportunity and a new direction in your work. I wouldn't be surprised if Jupiter, a boss or authority figure in the workplace, wants to give you some kind of new direction or opportunity, maybe even a promotion or something like that, or more responsibility even, who knows, in the workplace. And eventually, Mars will sextile Saturn in your 4th house. So this could definitely be a leveling up of authority, responsibility at work. However, if you have health problems and you need to fix them, this is what Mars does. He's in the house of his joy and he cuts away all the stuff that you don't need. You don't need a hug and dust pint before bed. You don't need that bed that is too mushy. You don't need that thing you do that you shouldn't be doing. So Mars will help you cut away and get rid of and end and sever things that undo your physical well-being. So get ready for that as well when he goes through your 6th house. And I think as well, you may find that there's conflict in the workplace. Colleagues and coworkers are combative. It's not so bad in the beginning of June because Mars is pretty close to Jupiter, but I'd say, oh yeah, well, it's another video, right? When Mars and Chiron conjunct, but in the middle of June, watch out for feisty battles with colleagues and coworkers. You will prevail. Jupiter will help you win the day. Sagittarius, sun, moon, and rising. This fiery energy is in a trine to your identity. So it's very good for you. And it is Mars moving May 24th to July 5th through your 5th house of romance, love, and sexuality, your children and your independent business enterprise, your inspiration, passion, and your creativity. If you have your own business, this is excellent. Mars is a very self-starter. He's taking bold, big steps through your 5th house, and Jupiter is there to help him expand things in your work. If you are also wanting to be in a romantic relationship, this is incredibly powerful sexual energy that Mars brings here, and it could heat up an existing relationship with more passion, or it can take a new one and fire it right the heck up. If you are somebody who's thinking of being pregnant or your partner, Jupiter here is a fertility transit until October 28th. Mars unfortunately rules miscarriages and abortions. Be careful in this window of time around things like that, especially, well, you can't be careful about an abortion. It's what you choose or your partner chooses, but the miscarriages is just something I have to tell you. Mars here does tend to get rid of things. And so that in house of babies, it looks like often a miscarriage. You could also look at this as a transit where you are passionately fired up about creativity, a project you're doing, or yes, on fire for your independent business and expanding your business and blowing it up to something larger. 29th and 30th, look for opportunities around those themes. Capricorn, sun, moon, rising sign, especially you're having this energy in the 4th house of home. I talked about this in a couple of videos for you guys. This is combat in the home, mortal combat in the home. Be careful here. I find that this is when your roommates get really combative and gnarly, or your spouse or whoever you live with, it gets very contentious and you have to deal with struggles in that regard. Mars will be here the 24th of May to July 5th. However, Jupiter's here trying to put a rosy spin on it all and to make it worthwhile, but Jupiter can be also the truth teller, and Mars and Jupiter in your home and domestic life, warrior of truth, teller, battle for the truth or something, is really interesting. So pay attention to those themes around the 29th and 30th in your home life, if you're a Capricorn rising especially, but sun and moon to some extent as well. You may also have to go to a battle around home, land, or real estate, Capricorn. Like it could be legacy wealth, trying to, hash out inheritance stuff, having to hash out money from a family system thing, having to hash out something to do with land, like battling, like here's a benevolent example. You made an offer on a house, but it's a bidding war. And so you're competing with competing offers, right? Mars is competition. This is the house of real estate. Jupiter says you'll win. So stick with it. You could also construct something in your home. Mars loves to do construction projects when he's going through the 4th house. You may add an addition. You may, renovate something, all of that. Jupiter ensures that it works out well and that your contractor is above board and honest. All right. So stay tuned for that. Aquarius, sun, moon, and rising sign. Guess what? We have Jupiter moving I mean, Mars moving from May 24th to July 5th in our third house of trips and travel. And he loves to travel, planes, trains, and automobiles. That's what the third house can be about, those moving vehicles. And Mars is here and it's his game. Jupiter rules travel. This is definitely for you guys 6 weeks of some sort of travel. I'm Aquarius rising. I'm already traveling by ferry and car during the first week of June. So this stuff does work. And I also would say that you could have sibling relationships go into a bit of contention, or aunts, uncles, cousins, extended family, nieces and nephews. A little bit of bickering, contentious energy could pick up between you and a family member. But Jupiter is here to bring a silver lining and bonify it. Around the 29th and 30th or so, you're feeling that intensity of boom, Jupiter, opportunity, luck, growth, and Mars, action, decisions. So what kind of booming opportunity may happen around a trip, around some travel, but also something you wish to teach or learn, right? I'm teaching my Sky Reader course starting during this weekend, and I will be in the thick of it doing class number 1 on Sunday, the 29th, during this conjunction. And I didn't even think about that when I set the date of the course. I think it means my class will go well. Okay, first class. And there are only a few spots left. So check my description box below. It's capped at 33 students. All right. Anything else I'd say to you? Your online social media website, that marketing and selling can be third house. This is giving you passion and drive. Often we can learn a new skill here. And I'm in a 3-month coaching course learning a new skill. And I have the passion and drive to do it through until July the 5th, which is exactly when I expect to actually have a product from this thing I'm learning to do. And Jupiter says, yes, we got you. It's going to work out. There's blessings here. All right. So keep that in mind, Aquarians. And writing, if you want to write, Mars will give you the drive and ambition to write, and Jupiter will say it will all turn out well. Last but not least is a Pisces sun, moon, and rising. You're going to have the energy of Mars in your second house of earnings. You're going to be driven and you're going to make more money. You're going to take action and steps to do that between May the 24th and July the 5th. You're on fire to get money rolling in your life. Jupiter's there to help expand it. On the 29th and 30th, look for a particular opportunity to increase your earnings. Sometimes Mars here will help eliminate deadwood and ways that you're trying to make money that don't work, and make changes in how you make money. You can also eliminate foods that don't work for you and drinks that you shouldn't put in your mouth, and cigarettes, and anything that goes in that mouth is going to be cut away, eliminated by Mars, because Jupiter wants you to be bounteous in everything. And so we eliminate stuff here, including foods that don't work for us as well. You may sell a possession or eliminate a possession to increase your wealth. You don't really need 3 cars. You don't really need that luxury item that you bought years ago, never used. And so, yeah, sometimes you pare away your possessions when Mars is going through here. Jupiter says by doing that, you create more space, growth, opportunity regarding money. And Jupiter is increasing your wealth by your earnings, by your direction of your choices in your profession. Is doing that all the way through to October 28th of this year. But Mars is doing this kind of like this impetus, action, intensity right now through to July the 5th. Thanks, guys, for listening. I hope this, wait, and watch for your speech being combative. This is the house of speech. Mars is like on fire here. You may be very argumentative and contentious, and you may speak sharply more than you usually do, or you may speak like a warrior, hero, advocate, champion, but you just got this new energy going about how you communicate. All right. Thanks so much for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe, check the bell for notifications, and help my channel grow. And I'm recording this on the 24th of May. I think I'm going to put this out on the 25th. Normally my Patreon community gets everything way ahead of time, but I forgot about getting around to this video. And so darn it. So that's one of the rare times that they don't get a heads up. And by the way, check out as well the Venus video I put up. Venus will be moving to Taurus coming up on May the 28th. That's a really good Venus story. And coming up soon, probably in a couple of days after you see this video, is my June 22 All Signs video. Each person's going to get a 7-minute reading on that video. So I hope you enjoy that. It's one of my favorite things to do is to give the All Signs overview for the month ahead. All right. Ciao, guys. Thanks for listening.